Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. Thank you for being with us on the program. And as mentioned, back with us on the show, Cynthia Clark. She became passionate about hands in 2008, has been studying them ever since. She's analyzed over 5,000 pairs of hands. In addition to her extensive knowledge of hands, Cynthia is also trained in energy healing for over 15 years, certified in several popular modalities. She has a BS degree in business management at the University of Utah and had her own business for a time when she was, by the way, 24 years old when she was able to do that. Life purpose consultant, healer, author, teacher, back with us on This Week in America. Cynthia Clark, her website is very simple to remember, worldofhands.com. Cynthia, welcome back to the program. It's great to have you with us.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Cynthia was on before, and if you go to our website, and you can go to YouTube and iTunes, and you can listen and watch the previous show that we did with Cynthia. Had such a response with this because people were not aware that hands really meant something. And well, let's go back. I mentioned this started for you in 2008. This really wasn't a career path that you chose at a young age, that type of thing. What happened in 2008 that got you interested? And it not only changed your life at that time, it changed the life of literally thousands of people that you've consulted with over the years.
Well, this profession chose me. uh, it definitely was, 2008 was a big turning point for me in my life. And I think for a lot of people, that year was quite dynamic.
Yes.
So a lot of people were going through major changes that year, and I definitely was one of those people. I was at the library one day and I happened to walk by and pick up a book on palmistry. And I had this really profound deja vu experience that I had studied it before. And it really turned the road for me at that point, and I became very passionate and interested in the subject.
What's interesting when you read Cynthia's background, and it's all at the website, excellent information at the website, worldofhands.com. This is really based on a science that is, like thousands of years old. This is not something new. This has been around for a long time.
Yes, it's been around at least 5,000 years, and it's believed to have originated in either China or India. And it has such a rich history to it. But people have been looking at their hands for a very, very long time. And it's it's a rich science. So there's really so much to it that you can learn from, and you can it's really valuable information to understand yourself.
When you go to the website, worldofhands.com, one of the first things you see is hands are mirrors. And that, I guess, brings up, okay, what exactly do our hands tell us? What are you able to tell us about ourselves by looking at our hands and studying our hands?
Well, when you think of looking in the mirror, it's all about who you are. What do you see in yourself? So there are parts of the hand that reflect your thoughts. The lines in the hand are actually, they mimic the neural pathways of the brain. And so they ebb and flow just like your brain does. It's
Yes.
actually really, really interesting. But there's also your life purpose is in your hands, your talents, your potentials, how you feel, your health aspects, your overall vitality, your potentials. Literally, your entire life is in your hands. And it's just a wealth of information to assist you.
Do your hands change over time?
Yes, absolutely. If you track your lines over a period of time, which I have done with many people over the years, you can actually see how your life changes based upon how you change. So, a lot of people think of it as very, stable and solid. But just like anything else, your hands are energy, just like your energy. And if you change your perception, or if you change the way you interact with your environment, then your hands are going to reflect that over time.
Cynthia Clark is our guest on This Week in America. Her website is worldofhands.com. You can log on to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and link on directly. Great information available at Cynthia's website. If somebody is listening and they're thinking, okay, that sounds interesting, but why would I want to do that? Who all do you talk with, and what do people do with the information? How is this practical in their everyday lives, decisions they make?
Well, the wonderful thing about hands is they have so much information in them. They really are useful for all kinds of people. And I have actually worked with babies all the way up through someone 95 years old. So, you're never too young or too old to get your hands read.
That's interesting. And what if there's apprehension? We've seen through fortune telling at the county fair when we were 16 years old, and it scares us to death. This is not what we're talking about here. We're talking about something that's totally based on science. But what if you've got that fear there? What if she's going to tell me something I really don't want to hear?
Well, I believe that if you are fearful, that is actually a good indication that you need a reading, because you can think of it as a coaching session. It's a guidance tool to assist you. So if there's something that you're afraid of, why not face that head on? Because if you don't, it's just going to fester and stay with you. Life is all about taking risks and stepping out of your comfort zone. If you don't do that, you don't grow. So I am like a lifeline for you. I hold your hand, and I literally can pull you out of your fear and help you to understand why that's there, so that you can actually move forward and be in greater joy in your life.
When you read some of the testimonials, some of the people that Cynthia has worked with, and you'll see this all at the website worldofhands.com, so many people say it really helped them make better decisions. Is that what you were talking about, by understanding exactly who you are, your strength, your weaknesses, your feels, your weaknesses, trepidation that you might have? This actually helps you make better decisions because you know more about yourself.
Exactly. If you're in a transition period, or if you have a question about your life and you're just not sure, you're at a crossroads and you've got two really good options in front of you, and you're not sure which is the best choice, your hands are actually going to be able to assist you in making a better choice. And, if you can save yourself either time or money or heartache or any of those things, wouldn't you want to do that? That's really what is so useful about hand analysis. And I've never had anybody come back to me and say, boy, I wish I hadn't done that. I never have that.
When you decided, and we talked about back in 2008, when this area of study actually captured your attention, in the beginning, I'm sure you, maybe even skeptical in the beginning, you wanted to see exactly if this was going to work and how it worked. Talk about the impact it had on your life that made you decide, I'm going to take this gift and share it with other people.
Yeah, I really realized as I started to work with people, even just on a very short-term basis, I would maybe look at one or two things in their hands, and the reaction that I got from people was so overwhelmingly positive, that I knew I was onto something. If I can bring sunshine to a person's day, I don't think there's too many things that are more satisfying than that. It really helped me to see the truth about myself. And the more that I learned about myself, the more I realized I needed to help other people to see their true selves, because a lot of people have a misperception about themselves. They hold on to guilt. They hold on to low self-worth. I mean, there are so many things out there, and you need to know who you really are.
Cynthia Clark is our guest on This Week in America. Worldofhands.com is the website. You are based in Colorado, and it really doesn't make much difference in the world of the World Wide Web, where you really, it doesn't make any difference because you can be anywhere and help people. Talk about how you remotely are able to help people. If someone is listening and they're not close to where you're located, you still have been able to help people.
Yes, a lot of people have the perception that hand analysis has to be done live in person, and that is simply not true. You can be anywhere in the world, and I can read your hands over the phone or Skype. And all you have to do is send me a digital photo of your hands. Most people can do it right from their phone. They can email me their hand photos, and I can read off of the picture. If you don't have a camera, that's okay too. I can send out an inking kit, and I can have you ink your own hands. So there really is no reason why we couldn't get together and talk about your hands. You can be anywhere in the world to do this.
And the website is worldofhands.com. I mentioned all the resources available there, including a number of free tools. Talk about what all people will find on the website, because once you start looking, it's like, okay, it's a half an hour later, and I'm still reading this with great interest. A lot of very solid information there as well.
Yes, I've got several free assessments for you if you go to my website. You can learn about your whether or not you're ready for love. There's a whole section on relationships. You can also go to my training section. I actually teach hand analysis worldwide to people, and you can find out if you would make a good palm reader and what that would take. And I have a free video series for that. And I also have an assessment tool that helps you determine if you are living your life purpose.
And you're working on a book. Tell me about that, and we'd love to have you back on the program and well when the book is completed. But talk about the book. I know this has been a while in process as you've been putting this together. What will be in the book?
So my book is all about connecting palmistry with the tarot, which it's actually taken a few twists and turns over time, as any creative project does. But the tarot is, of course, an ancient card tool. It is the number one divination tool in the world, and it's got also a very rich history. And there are archetypes that are represented through the cards. And I have made a connection between the cards and the hands. And so I'm going to be guiding people through that connection and the subconscious influence of each of these archetypes.
No pressure. It's only being recorded. But when do you think the book will be available? Are you close to publishing?
Boy, good question. It always is it's a long project. So I hope to be finished at least with the initial drafts by the spring. And then who knows, it could take a few months to get it out after that, but I'm hoping for 2016 this year to get it out.
We're talking with Cynthia Clark. The website we're talking about is worldofhands.com. You deal in more than just information. I mentioned you are a life purpose consultant, a healer, an author with a book soon to be released, a teacher as well. Talk about all the information that you're able to give out to people.
So yeah, just depending upon the type of work that you'd like to do with me, I do individual one-on-one coaching sessions. I do longer if you want to work with me for, say, a period of months. I also have that as an option, as I'd be happy to be your coach. I also do hand analysis training. So if you want to learn how to read hands and become a professional reader as well, I can help you with that. And I also do, I go beyond just information. I really like to help people with solutions. I'm very solution oriented, and I also am trained in many different healing modalities. So and I can do this also remotely. So I work with people on all sorts of levels It's really just wonderful to, give me a call. And if you have a question about anything, I'm more than happy to answer your questions and we can go from there.
And all the information, contact information available at worldofhands.com. A couple minutes left in the program. Let's go back to something that you say, that the hands are a roadmap to your soul, your personality, and your preferences. If people are listening and thinking, okay, I'm really not concerned about love life, and that's probably all this deals with, it really deals with all aspects of our lives, doesn't it?
Absolutely. From, yes, your love life is in your hands, but also your profession. What would you be good at? So career choices are there. I love working with teenagers who are just about to embark in their next stage in life, and they're not sure what to major in, for example, if they're going to college. It's really a useful tool for understanding your own preferences. Like, are you a leader or a follower? Do you need to be on your own? Are you independent? Are you a good storyteller? Should you be writing? I mean, there's so many things that you can learn, and it can just help give you that validation. Everyone can benefit from this, and it's absolutely nothing to be afraid of.
A minute or so left in the program. What's it like for you? And you touched on it earlier, when you're working with someone, consulting with someone, and you sense that light has gone on. Suddenly they understand a little more about themselves. They feel a little more comfortable in going into a new situation. What's that like when you sense that, maybe for the first time as you're working with them, that this is really meaningful for them?
Yes, ultimately, it's about being fulfilled and happy and joyful in your life. So, if there is a part of your life that is not happy, joyful, and fulfilled, that is a great place for us to start and look at through your hands, because it will show you your opportunities to change and shift that. And it is my goal for everyone on this planet to not only be happy and joyful and fulfilled, but to also be on purpose and to be doing, what you were designed to do. Your hands tell you what you were designed to be and do. And it's just so, if you are in that zone, it's like being an athlete and you're in your zone, when you're
Right.
at your peak. It's just like that. If you can find that and know that and be that, there is nothing greater than that, in my opinion. And I like to help people get to that zone. And that's really the point of getting your hands analyzed.
All of this information available at Cynthia's website, which is worldofhands.com. Cynthia Clark has been our guest on This Week in America. First program we did is available at thisweekinamerica.us, iTunes, and YouTube as well. This program will be available there as well. Worldofhands.com. Cynthia, always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being with us, and we look forward to having you back and talking about the book. No pressure, but maybe sometime later this year we'll have the chance to do that. Thank you for being with us once again.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Cynthia Clark, our guest. The website, once again, worldofhands.com. Go to our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and you can link on directly.